us. We are still preparing to live stream, so I don't know if it's actually live streaming or not.
I just got the
Assume
message.
that we're live streaming right on, so I guess we'll assume that we are. So nobody reveal the password now. It's too late now. Mute myself. D, go for it.
What's going on, everybody? This show is for educational and entertainment purposes only. You have to be 21 and over to be here. If not, you have to get out of here. That means you. Back to you, Troubadour.
Correct procedure indeed. Thank you, D. Pop out chat. There we go. Boom. So, ladies and geraniums, it looks like I guess I probably shouldn't say for sure until I switch to live chat, which of course I recommend you do as well. I just switched to live chat, and wouldn't you know it, Southern Vermont Vintage is first in chat. Miss Chronic literally squeaking in right behind her, right behind him. That sounds like I just said that Miss Chronic squeaks. I don't mean to say that you squeak, Miss Chronic. I mean you squeaked. Making it worse. Crymore Grows in the house. What's going on, Crymore Grows? He's probably laughing right now, but we all kid. We all kid. Ladies and germs, thanks very much for joining us. Like I said, thank you for the panel already showing up. Sorry, guys, for being a little bit late here. I just honestly had to smoke a joint, frankly. So it was nice, honestly, a nice joint. It was very much the last little bit of Sour Morgana that I grew outdoors. I have maybe one joint left, probably draw, maybe not even that quite. This was probably the last fat joint, so it was thankfully at least a fat joint. Don't fear, Sour Morgana is not gone or anything. There's going to be quite a bit more from her in the future.
Nice.
In fact, honestly, I'd like to show off the garden tonight. I've really honestly never done that, or well, certainly never done it here. Very rarely shown off the garden. I've got Sour Morgana #3. So actually, there's a little bit confusing. I call the mom Sour Morgana, but I also call the babies Sour Morgana. Probably should have found a better name, honestly, than that, but it is what it is now. The Sour Morgana strain of that, basically, I popped a number of them, and one of them I really liked a lot. Ridiculous the amount of times #3 comes up as one of my favorites, and sure enough, this time #3 was one of my favorites. I also really like #8 and #5, and for completely different reasons. #5 was just fucking enormous, just a huge amount of flour and very tasty, very nice high and everything else, but it's just a fucking ton of it. Then #8 was this really, really uh, just desperately frosty. I don't know what that means. Desperately frosty, just crazily frosty. Sweet cherry, actually. So it wasn't very sour. It was sweet. Ultimately, I didn't keep that one because it wasn't that high of a performer, and I think I actually still have the #5. But the #3 has been oh, it's lovely, honestly. So I tested her again. Basically, first time I grew her basically was just from seed. So finally, I've grown her from a clone. My goodness, one of the most beautiful plants in the garden. Perhaps I'm freaking biased because there's a couple other ones that are really nice. But honestly, one of the nicest ones, frankly, like fucking super, super nice. So I'm really happy about that. So gonna have some really nice pictures of Sour Morgana. Not that I don't actually already have some that I need to put up on the website from VT and a few others, but I'm definitely gonna have some really lovely Sour Morgana pictures soon. Finally got some nice pictures, or I'm gonna get some nice pictures because wouldn't you know it, I forgot some of the fucking shit for my flash. Not even worth getting into which pieces in my storage. I have like most of the stuff that I need, and then conveniently I don't have the other stuff to mount the stuff to the stuff, and oh fuck off. So I have to go back to my storage and get my shit. So anyway, that's pretty annoying. Anyway, so I'm gonna start taking pictures tomorrow, but thankfully I'm gonna have pictures of Oaxacan Thunderfuck finally. God damn, it's taken forever to get pictures of that. What else has been absolutely forever in the process? Fuck. Cut down blueberry the other day. So it's not as if this is an unheard of thing because you can literally buy blueberry probably in every city in the country. So it's not like, oh, nobody can grow blueberry or some shit. But Subcool used to say that he could never grow blueberry. It was one of his favorite strains to smoke. He's always been was always friends with DJ Short because of course Subcool passed away. If you guys didn't realize that, but he always had the nicest things to say about DJ Short, who, by the way, I've only ever heard nice things said about. Anyway, but he struggled and seemed to honestly struggle with blueberry. He wanted to cross things to it. He wanted to cross Jack the Ripper and Space Queen, any number of things. He kept talking about it on his streams. Love for the Planet, if he's listening, will probably remember how many times he talked about that. Quirkle and whatever else. I can't even remember what else he wanted to cross to it. Anyway, super soil is too hot for blueberry, and he started to realize that. I think people told him the whole time that super soil was too hot for blueberry, but he, I think, stubbornly continued. And wouldn't you know it, even though I've really always been a fan of subcool, I was never a fan of super soil, to be honest. I never really grew in super soil. I didn't like the whole idea of cooking the soil pointlessly beforehand and all this different stuff. I like the idea of using blood meal. I used blood meal when I very first started growing weed because I used to use it on garden plants. I used to grow on my apartment balcony way back when. Anyway, blood meal's convenient, and so for something that you don't really eat, like a fucking palm tree or whatever, blood meal works just fine. But as I started to read about it, I really wanted to be as organic as I could from the very beginning. And little things like, I mean, shit, not little things, holy fuck. When you look up where blood meal comes from, you're just like, oh, fuck, right, yeah, no. If you want an organic process, that's not going to work. So how do I put it? It was a kind of an anathema just from that, but it also just kind of seemed idiotic to, not idiotic, come on, but it seemed not up my alley, basically, to have a bunch of extra soil. First of all, I would have had to make space for all that extra soil, buy a lot of extra soil, on and on and on. I remember when I met Tanasi in Colorado at his place, fuck, he had tons of garbage cans in his backyard of super soil in the process of either cooking, recooking, whatever the shit, so that he could rotate it through his garden because he was dedicated to the super soil process. All the power to him, right? Like if it works, it works. For me, it never really worked. Or it never, I guess I never really tried it. So I guess for what it's worth, it never worked. I can't say that. Anyway, grew blueberry just now in living soil. And absolutely, what a finicky plant. So I've heard that before from a lot of people. So next time I would definitely grow it a little bit different. I would veg her up a little bit more. But actually, in the end, she was a solid producer. I thought she was going to be just this weenie of a plant because she was kind of, I had to support her a lot and all that stuff. And her leaves browned out really fast and blah, blah, blah. But honestly, as I was chopping her down yesterday, got a solid, decent amount. So we'll say really, really aromatic. Um,
Nice.
I think that's the first time that I've grown actual blueberry. I've definitely grown blueberry crosses a fucking
Right
hundred
on.
times, but I don't think I've ever grown blueberry, even from seed or anything like that. So this is one of the nice cuts hanging around of blueberry. Um, Anyway, I'm pleased to say no nanners, nothing. Uh, Fairly hardy plant in terms of the yield and everything else. Like you'll look at it and you think, oh my God, that plant's basically garbage. I was telling my friend basically that, I'm not expecting much. And sure enough, it's actually awesome. So we'll see. Definitely a plant that I think there's a learning curve, basically, is probably what I'm saying with that plant. Anyway, I'm happy about that. I didn't get a lot of pictures of that one because honestly, the brown leaves and stuff, I was like, no, I'll just get pictures of the nugs because the nugs are going to look real nice.
Right
But
on.
what was I going to say? Yeah, anyway, there's a couple things I could definitely show off. I really want to show off that sour Morgana before I chop her down. I'm really trying to chop this week a little bit early. I oftentimes go to like week 10 and shit, but I'm just going to chop down probably this week. I could go a little bit longer with surf grape, which I'm really happy to report. I grew that one from seed and no, I popped it here. I think I popped it here. So yeah, I popped that surf grape here. Anyway, proud to say that the surf grape is nice. The one that I have, I only have one right now. The one that I have is very Coot Special heavy, so it's definitely got kind of lemon piney notes with grape on the background. So really excited to see where that goes, because certainly some of them are going to be very grapey. It was grape pie to the Coot Special. And of course, the Coot Special, the name doesn't mean anything, right? The name is basically Highland Thai Kerala, basically. So Highland Thai, very sativa, and the Kerala, arguably even more, very kind of, um,
Yeah.
um, I don't know, almost reminds you of the towers, the wizard towers from the Lord of the Rings or something. Reminds you of like fucking Saruman's tower, super super tall, almost looks like Acapulco Gold. Anyway, excited to smoke that. I can tell you, excited to take some pictures of that one too. So anyway, yeah, I think I'm gonna try to show off the garden tonight. You're gonna have to give me fucking a little bit of patience because this is the first time that I've grown in this space. I've honestly, the first time I've grown in an open area. Okay, not the first time I've grown in an open area, but first time I've grown weed, not outdoors, in an open area. So no tents, da 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 da. Basically, in essentially a grow room, basically in the garage. I didn't have a ton of time to set it up perfectly and everything else. So if you fucking want to criticize me, you can just honestly go suck 10 dongs or something. I don't know. Do that anyway. That's fine with me. No one's going to criticize you. Cheers, everyone in the chat. By the way, Bud Kilowatts in the house. What's going on? He's saying green light, baby. Fish and Grow New Zealand. Cheers, buddy. Long time no see. I feel like it's a long time no see. Puffin Pink Death Bubba. I bet you got that from Ozzy in one way or another. Maybe from Seeds. Speaking of Seeds. Cheers, Fish and Grow NZ.
Back on.
Down under. I was just listening to Dr. Christine Jones. I might have gotten that completely wrong. Anyway, the chick that does the phosphorus paradox on YouTube. Wonderful, wonderful videos. Throwing a huge amount of conventional agriculture on its head. Absolutely spectacular. Highly recommended. Anyway, she's a New Zealander, so I'm bringing her up. Anyway, Dr. Leby Alone, good to see you, buddy. Honestly, those videos are worth a watch, a rewatch, a triple rewatch, on and on and on. And they've been recommended by a bunch of people here on the show. From time to time, St. Bernard's Observation Booth pops in. He recommended her a number of years ago. Certainly, speaking of Clackamas Coot, he used to recommend her. I'm sure he still does, but obviously not on this show. Number of people basically have recommended her. So one of these days when I get back into the swing of having guests, I'm actually going to try to get her on the show. We'll see. That's a reach because I don't know if she's going to do a cannabis freaking show, but it would be nice if she could. Speaking of which, by the way, I'm thinking about, I've completely forgot to do it basically the last several shows that I brought it up, but I was thinking like, hey, let's do that thing where we do this show for an hour or two and then cut and then take it off to the other channel. That way we can basically just relax, shoot the shit a little freer, and I don't get angry because sometimes I get pissed off when I hear just stupid fucking garbage. And honestly, there should be a place for people to say stupid fucking garbage if they want to, right? There's no skin off my fucking nose. But maybe not on this channel. Maybe not on the main show. When, for example, if I want a guest, they might check out the show. I don't want them to watch some of the stupid garbage that comes on, later in the show. So probably shouldn't have called it stupid garbage, but you know what I'm trying to say. All right, come on. Nobody's a fucking baby here. Come on.
So
what's that, D?
Give me a time limit. 1 hour, 2 hours. I'll set a timer.
What do you figure? What do you think? What do you think figures good?
Oh,
We oftentimes have people stopping in, probably for the first, we have people stopping in the whole show, but I don't know, first couple of hours, and then it sort of becomes the regulars, I guess. I don't know. What does the rest of the panel think? By the way, let's say hello. What do you guys say hello, and what does the rest of the panel think? Should we go for another? It's 7:38 now. Should we go for another hour? Should we go for a little bit more? What do you figure? Go for it. Go for it, D.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on, panel? What's going on, chat? Hope everybody's having a great night. Hello to everybody that just came off from watching my show over on the Z Zombie channel, 745 pre-show. I hope everyone's having a great night. I'm smoking on McFlurry right now, and it doesn't matter to me, Freeman, or whatever the rest want to do. I'll just let me know and I'll set a timer till we remember.
Go for it, Smashed.
Oh, can you make me a host, co-host?
Yeah, I'm just hitting the link here.
Thank you.
What's up? How's everyone doing?
Doing all right. What's going on, bud?
Chilling, just watering a little bit. Yeah, trying to get through the week.
Think this Sunday your sound is real rough.
I think it's this. Is that better?
Slightly.
Because I'm using my headphones, and I usually don't use the mic on my headphones, but it's making me. So give me 1 second.
No worries. What's going on, Cap?
Just another day here in paradise. Got the kitty hanging out with me today.
Nice.
So, yeah, just another day of getting things together and having no luck selling anything on Facebook Marketplace. And that's basically the only way to sell anything here in Thailand.
Huh.
You're not allowed to have like garage sales.
Oh, really? I've heard that from a bunch of different countries. It surprises people. They're like, What, you are selling garage? What are you selling? Like what? No, no, seriously, like they have no idea what the fuck you're trying to say. And then some countries, holy shit, they can set up in the park. It's very interesting the differences in all kinds of different cultures.
In Amsterdam, there's actually only one day that you're allowed to set stuff outside your house
How
to
fun.
sell, and that's Queen's Day.
Huh. Whereas in the
But they
UK,
don't
they're famous for their, oh, I can't remember
tag
what they're
sales.
called. The boot. Yeah, like they're basically, I don't even know what you would fucking call them. Trunk sales or something. You kind of you park basically with the back of your car facing backwards to the people, and you open up your trunk and there's shit in there basically. You sell it for whatever, a few dollars and whatever else. Uh, I've heard from all kinds of people they find cameras and tools and all kinds of crap from those places. I guess that wouldn't be legal in Holland, right? Take me to jail.
Yeah.
Get it. Anyway, what's going on,
So
hardcore?
I
Welcome. Go for it. Go for it, Captain.
so I did
Sorry about
find
that.
a Christian Catholic church right down the street, and I will be donating a whole bunch of stuff to them.
There you go. Right on. Sorry for talking over you there, hardcore. I confused the situation there. Go for it, buddy.
Well, I'm just getting done with work here. Oh,
Do you work in a very quiet bank, or is it? Are you trying to not disturb the test mice, or?
It's in an apartment complex, so I don't want it to be too terribly loud.
Can we pretend that the apartment complex is also wired for security? There's little coins there somewhere. I don't know. All right. Connection's unstable. Am I able? Oh, yeah, sure. Let's do that right now.
What's the good news
Call
tonight,
him.
guys?
What's that, hardcore?
I said, what's the good news tonight?
Nothing much. I'm gonna go have dinner here in a second. I'll leave you guys for a few minutes. But what was I going to say? Oh, congratulations to Germany. Can you believe that shit? Germany has legalized. They are medical, not federally legal, all that stuff like Canada, but they're basically tiptoeing into the real deal. They had a big smoke out in Berlin the other night on April 1st. They don't think, well, actually, they do think of April 1st as the freaking joke day, but that was the legalization day, so it wasn't a joke for them. Anyway, how funny is that? They basically met at the Brandenburg Gate and smoked up right at midnight. What a trip. Dude, there were people that, well, yeah, there's been people that passed out, not passed out, probably passed out too, but passed through this show way back when in the very beginning that got in big fucking trouble for weed over the years. Hopefully I can get Electric Steam back on the show. But there were a couple other Germans that have been on the show that told us some of their fucking stories of getting busted for hash, getting busted for weed. Oh my goodness. Hash is a
Right.
lot more common in Europe, so I think it was probably a lot more common to get busted with hash than with weed, honestly, in Europe for a long time.
But the thing is they consider hash to be more like a concentrate.
Mhm.
So there's a little bit more than getting caught with, a couple buds in your pocket and a
No,
three
they treat it the
gram
same in
ball of
America
hash.
too, yeah, which is just deeply sad because if you've ever smoked hash, it's just it's yeah, okay, it's stronger, I guess, but I mean it's like saying that I fucking don't even know. It's like saying that what do you compare it to? It's like saying that fucking preserves are stronger than jam or some shit. No, that's a terrible example. I don't know. It's just like it's not that strong, you know. It's like maybe okay. Basically, it's like chicken soup versus bouillon. Like a spoon of the fucking like. Have you ever had the liquid bouillon that you like the concentrate or a
The
bouillon
reduced.
cube? If you were to eat a bouillon cube, it'd be overpoweringly, but you could survive it. It's not going to fucking kill you. It's not going to knock you off your ass or send you to the hospital for a week or some shit, right? Like you're gonna make a sour face for 10 minutes and then you're gonna be fine. Maybe not even that, honestly, right? And I don't know. Is that a decent metaphor? I mean, seriously, concentrates are not that much stronger. Like if you have a put it this way, even people who I know that have a tiny tolerance for weed, that take like one puff of weed and they're lit, they can still take a small dab. So it's not like some kind of a crazy huge amount of weed or something that they can't handle or whatever else. I suppose it depends on the person, but
I mean, it concentrates it down to more THC into a smaller form, I guess.
hmm.
But you're right. Like, if someone just takes a little dab, it's probably going to be the same, especially non-smoker, as
Hmm.
a nice joint.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not going to take a
Yeah.
gram dab or some shit. That would be ridiculous, but
You know what they say, a little
Yeah.
dab will do ya.
that's right.
Is my mic better?
Oh, a lot better actually. Yes, but
Yeah.
sorry for not noticing. Cheers Smash. What light is that?
It's a Mars Hydro 150 watt.
I hear they've come a long way. We used to rag on them a lot because they were the fucking blurples and all this goddamn garbage. Apparently, their lights are halfway decent now. They last a while and all that kind of stuff. You know, I imagine they're not going to last as long as some of the other stuff, but they're a lot cheaper too. So,
I got it for free.
well, that's a pretty good price.
Better.
That's where my kitty went.
My aunt had to move out, and my cousin was supposed to pick it up, and he never did. So my aunt calls me. She's like, "We're leaving today on Easter." She had to move out.
So your aunt grew weed?
No, my cousin.
Cousin.
Well, that's still. It'd be even funnier if it was your aunt, though. Cheers, Georgia Grow Guy. I bet his Georgia Grow Guy's aunt grows weed. He's cool that way. Dead Fish Fan, also probably the aunt and uncle probably grow weed. Dead Fish Fan is saying hello, Fumi, the Smashed, and Captain. I guess he's not saying hello
I'm
right
uncle.
now. T-Ben's in the house. He's saying hello as well. Matt Mortenson's in the house. The Mandarin cookies I cut smells and tastes like tangerines, and the high is real nice. Nice to hear it. I've heard that before. How's the
So-
orange on your go ahead, Smash.
I'm slowly creeping up. I think I just hit 1,400 subscribers on YouTube.
Sweet.
If I can get to 2,000 by the end of the year, I'm going to do another extravaganza giveaway, probably towards my birthday, hopefully October. I'll give away 12 packs of seeds again, stay live for like 10 hours, and we'll just chill. But yeah, we're in the garden.
There you go.
Everything looks great.
Yeah, it's looking good. Joe Cabby says it's like booze to beer. Yeah, honestly. You know, for example, if you were to drink a bottle of booze, you'd be fucked up. Like that's going to happen. That's a poor idea. But if you have a shot of booze or a beer, they're roughly the equivalent, right? Like an ounce of whiskey is roughly equivalent to 8 ounces, or well, actually, I don't remember. And it also depends on the beer because sometimes you can get beer that's. What did I have? Not too long ago, I had a really strong beer. It was 15 or 16%. It was like, does that even qualify as beer? Apparently, yes. I think you can even go higher than that, honestly. Someone
Sam Adams has one that's up there. It's like a
yeah, I
special
think there's like a
beer.
20 something, like 25% or some shit. You're like, how is that not
I think it's
booze? Well, it's
26.
apparently how it's made or whatever. I don't even know.
I'd rather
Yeah, something
I'd rather
crazy
have a
like that. I don't even know. Go ahead, E.
I'd rather have a Sam Jackson myself.
Yeah, I don't know how beer can get to 20% because isn't it really pretty much mead when you get to like 13 to 16%?
I was just gonna like quote Samuel Jackson from
Mead's
Pulp
made
Fiction.
specifically
My
funny.
name is the Lord, but I was like, oh, I'm actually high. Sour Morgana.
So
Obviously, I'm
mead,
bragging, but it's the one weed that will get me fucked up.
Taste the motherfucking rainbow.
What can I tell you? Yeah, it's some good shit. What were you saying, Captain?
Well,
You said,
Smash was actually explaining.
Yeah.
Go for
So
it.
it's actually Smash.
Go for it, Smash.
mead is made with honey.
Right.
Yeah. Good
It
for
has to
soaking
be.
mushrooms in.
Yeah, it has to be made with honey. So like you can really get down to keep feeding a batch of beer fermenting, and you keep adding a little bit of sugar and stuff and letting it ferment as long as possible. And then you got to keep feeding it a little bit to get it up there in those high amounts.
The sugar.
Yeah, sugar. You'll probably put a little bit of yeast in from here now
Yeah.
and then, just to keep the reaction alive.
The Bicology.
The which?
There we go.
Bicology, if I said that properly,
Take your word
meaning
for it.
that all you have to do is basically just add more key ingredients and you don't have to go through a whole process again.
Hmm.
There you go. For everybody was wondering what that beer that Sam Jackson reference was, there's the link for the commercial.
Oh yeah.
Another little joint.
God damn, I really enjoy Sour Morgana. Granted,
Yeah,
that was the mom, and I've been talking about that mom for a few years now. Oof, really lovely. She's technically a Morgana prototype. So she's analogous to the first generation of Morgana, but I made her with the brother of the father of the original Morgana. So basically, I made a prototype line and tested it myself pretty much. And out of those plants, basically, I have the cherry black Morgana and the sour Morgana pretty much ever since then. Basically, those are the ones that I kept all this time. And then basically, I bred the same Morgana pretty much with almost identical twin brother. You know, every single time you breed a slightly different male, sure, you get a slightly different result, but pretty fucking close, honestly. Anyway, but technically she is the Morgana prototype. But I crossed her to that Black Prince Ruby and got Sour Morgana and have really enjoyed the progeny from that too. So I'm about to cut down Sour Morgana 3 that actually I didn't even finish saying. She's probably the most similar to the mom, actually. She's sour cherry, got that kind of acridness basically that really kind of crawls up your nose. Really aggressive. She's more aggressive than the mom, actually. So that's nice from the Black Prince Ruby father. Frosty, all the way up and down the plant. I'm shocked how well she grew, honestly. Clones really well, very resilient, really just doesn't have problems. Like I really didn't baby the plants this time. It was a test around, so I really didn't baby them in any way. She's stunning, honestly, absolutely stunning. Right at the top, she got a little bit too close to the light, so she's a little foxtaily. That's the one complaint that it can possibly have. Not a single nanner on her. Of course, in the last 5 minutes, wouldn't it be funny if 10 nanners pop up? But fuck it. Knock on wood, that's not going to happen. Anyway, no, stunning plant. Actually, I didn't see any nanners on any of the plants. I was so far I've looking through all the plants. I haven't seen one. I was actually quite surprised because I did not baby them. Like the garage door is mostly light tight, but there's still leaks. And I was like, meh, fuck it. We'll see if there's any nanners. Not one, not one. Sorry, you were talking Smash?
I forgot.
Oh, sorry.
So Southern VT,
I was really
sorry,
surprised.
Southern Vermont Vintage says he's down to his last zip of Sour Morgana.
Damn.
Yo,
I know that
Southern
feeling.
BT should come to Toasted Jam with Marshall and we should hang the fuck out.
Tell us more about Toasted Jam while I take a dab.
It's the one with Papoose, Styles P, and Gorilla Zoe. Me, Miranda Family Farms, Mass Canna, Martial Artists, and there's a bunch of other vendors that are going to be there. It's going to be fun. But yeah. Look, we're starting to actually flower.
Nice.
Critical Kush right here. This plant right here, strawberry apricot to purple punch.
Ooh.
This is my papaya rum cake to Chemo. So I had three seeds in there regular. One was a female. Right here is the apple fritter I made to Chemo. I put 4 in there, and then 2 were female, 2 were male. But my ChemDog, the ChemDog cross right here, I put in 3 seeds, and they're 3 females.
Nice.
So I'm pretty excited. Um, the Chem Dog cross the Chem 91 Calio is going to be what I'm reversing tomorrow. This summer. Sorry, not tomorrow, but this summer. Oh, so what else do we got? Critical Kush. That's a white wedding. It's actually my last white wedding seed ever.
Roll.
Wilson Otter Pop. So Wilson crossed the Otter Pop, which is animal mince to gelato. And then in my little tent, I guess I can show you that real quick.
Good
So
one.
this is the little tent. Right now, I
Whatever
have
happened to my little tent? Do you guys remember her?
Yeah, she still grows. I've seen a video of a while ago of her.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry, Smash. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm seeing some fungus gnats, motherfuckers.
Uh-oh.
So in here, this is the tent that's gonna rotate in. Right now, these two are auto flowers. I'm keeping a really close eye on them because if they start flowering super early, they're getting pulled, and I'm gonna put some other seeds in there. But those are Planet of the Grapes. Then I have another Wilson Otter Pop, and then I have two Cindy cakes, which is wedding cake,
She was
dark heart clone,
that?
cross to Cindy 99, Brothers Grimm, cross to Cindy Cake number 9. So these are all it keeps getting warm and cold and warm and cold. They're doing all right. I watered them today, and it's gotten cold again down here, so they're probably not going to get water till this rain goes away. But yeah, we're just gonna rotate these into the flower tent. They're in 3 gallons, and I might, depending on how big I get them in here, because they're still gonna have another month, maybe 3 weeks, and then I'm gonna put them in the flower. I kind of want to start having stuff come out every month, 30 days. You know what I mean? Harvesting. I put them in the 3 gallons because we were colder here, so I figured a little bit more soil would help them stay, keep them a little less cold. But when we're in the summer, I'm gonna put just 1 gallons in here and fill it up with 1 gallons, let them get as big as I possibly can, and then transplant them into the tent.
Nice.
That's under a little HLG 100. I was thinking I was thinking of actually selling the HLG 100 and putting the Mars Hydro 150 in there.
Is that
It's just a little bit bigger. I'll show you.
more even coverage?
Yeah, it would be a little bit
Hmm.
even of a spread. This is a 150. So it's got like 4 extra rows on that other one.
Hmm.
And it's got triple the red diodes. It's I don't know, this is 50 more watts. And it's got more diodes on it. And this one has I don't even know what kind. Some cheap Shenzhen Jun Technology Co. For I forget, what are these called? Ballast? But the ChemDog, I'm pretty impressed with this. It's staying pretty uniform. There's 3 plants in here. This is 1, This is 2 and 3. And they're staying pretty fucking relatively even. Huge leaves, dude. Look at this. Like,
Hmm.
you've seen some low leaves I pulled off. This one's not even done developing yet. Yeah, Fumi, last white wedding seed ever. Shout out Noob Grows, the
Haven't
homie.
seen him for a while either.
Wilson Otterpop's got some big leaves on her too, fat wide.
Wilson is a weird one. I got Wilson Zero seeds, not from Masonic, but from Oni. At one of the last, well, maybe second to last Indo Expo, long time ago, and I popped a few of them. I don't remember how many. I think it was like a double pack or something. So I popped like 10 of them or something. Anyway, I didn't really keep any of them. Honestly, I didn't mean to. It's not that they were bad plants or something. I just at the time I wasn't keeping I was keeping my own stuff, but I wasn't keeping other stuff. But I did end up crossing a Morgana male because I had a Morgana male. I think it was the trifoliate male that I had for a while to the Wilson Zero technically is what it was called that I had then. Anyway, it took me the longest time to pop any seeds of it, and so finally I popped some seeds of it. Maybe like this is probably like a year ago now, and I was smoking like I still have just the tiniest little bit of that flower, but I was smoking some of that flower with a couple of my friends over the last maybe 6 or 8 months, and every single one of them, mind you, the flavor was spectacular. Like a little bit of banana custard with papaya, tropical fruit with some gas in the back. Really spectacular, honestly. The fucking high, everyone hated it. Like just absolutely fucking hated it. That was one of the most unique experiences. I didn't really get much high off of it, so it's not like I liked it or disliked it. It just kind of didn't really make me that high. But everyone I smoked it with memorably tells me, "Do you still have that one that we smoked that one time?" I'm like, "No, no, no, don't worry, it's dead." Seriously, it was that bad. Like they got like well, I guess different things. One was super sensitive to the sun. It was a mildly warm day, and suddenly we had to be in the shade like a vampire or some shit. And just like had a really bad time until basically maybe like 20, 30 minutes, just kind of calm down. What was the other one? Yeah, just kind of bad vibes for a while and then kind of shook it off. Yeah, they really hated it. Like noticed, like they remembered hating it. How funny is that?
When you said trifoliate male, did you mean to say world phyllotaxy?
Yes, probably.
Three branches
And it's
coming
so
out.
fun to say too. World Phyllotaxy.
There's 3 branches coming out of the same node instead of the
And
normal
in a
2.
spiral pattern, yeah.
Yeah. Fibonacci pattern, even I
Hmm.
think. Trifoliate means 3 leaflets on a single, or yeah, 3 leaflets on a single leaf.
Now I
Like a
don't
4 leaf,
remember if
a
he was that
4 leaf
too or
clover
not.
would be.
No, I think he was 5 leaves, but world. Yeah. Yeah.
Because a 4 leaf clover would be a um, quadrifoliate leaf, and it's the
And then a
four leaflet
pentafoliate
clover.
and a
4 leaf clover
septifoliate.
doesn't make any
Oh,
sense.
wait, no, that's 7. Hexafoliate.
I'm in here trimming off leaves, man. These plants
That'd be a good
turned
name for a
around.
rock band. The Hexafoliate.
Boy,
These plants have turned around so I'm so happy from what they looked like when I came back from Vegas.
Hummus.
Are you happy enough to do that happy dance like Pharrell? It's some dinner. Do you guys want to spotlight Smash's Garden still, or do you want to unspotlight that? Do you have the power? I don't even know.
I don't care. Doesn't matter to me.
All right, I'll unspotlight. You can respotlight if you want to. I'll be back in a few minutes.
All right, family. Have a good dinner.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think I just sold my truck.
What? You squeezed me?
Yeah.
Baking powder?
I think I just sold my truck for
How many
100,000 baht.
How many dong is that?
I
One
don't know.
paper. Oh, it's windy.
Now, if I can find the paperwork for my bike, maybe I can sell that too. But I can't drive my truck anymore. I rebuilt the clutch in it,
Mhm.
and I did that right before I had the accident, and now I can't push in the clutch.
Are the titles on rice paper over there?
Yeah. And if you don't have, rolling paper, they work just as good.
Genesis is 129. That's the best one.
So I don't know what's going on. They've got something going on today. It's not a holiday, but they've been playing music since 6 a.m.
Holy shit.
Yo, this is
Yeah.
the Wilson Otter Pop. Fat, thick fingers.
Well, your mama likes it.
Like that's why that's a nice widely fried. Yeah, I like that.
I knew there was a your mom reference coming there.
Your mom told me I had to stop making fun of you. Just
But
kidding.
she's nice like that.
I have the HLG pitched up a little bit, and I got obviously this is pitched up a little bit. And it's working really good. It's definitely filling this area out well. And I want to extend over here more, and then I want to extend in the back. I was thinking of even putting some like side lighting over here. Some maybe 4-foot LED like T5s or something. But I need to get a couple harvest out because I got to get an electrician here.
Cha-ching, cha-ching.
I got a friend. But yeah, I got the heater on right now.
I've got a friend too.
I usually go with licensed and bonded people when I'm putting in 220 lines to my house and shit, because hey, if my grow room catches on fire because you fucked up, that's your problem. Not that I was growing a couple hundred plants in the basement. It was your wiring. But believe me, you're still going to jail. But when it comes to electric, that's one thing I can rebuild a ballast, and I have, but when it comes to actually hooking up high voltage in my house, I let someone else that's licensed and bonded do that.
I saw the best
That
Instagram
way,
shot the other day, or reel or whatever. Or is this a drywaller guy just going and just slapping mud into fucking the sockets or whatever, or all like the electrical boxes and everything. He's taping the walls and he just whoops slaps a bunch of fucking mud in the box.
Oh, oh shit. You know what I need to get? A 6-inch fan, but a quiet one. Because I got a can fan right now, and it is not quiet.
You go to your local closeout place and buy one of their 6-inch little cheap fans they have there. May run on
No, I'm looking
batteries.
for like AC Infinity heat type. I think like a can fan. I need it to be long and skinny.
Right.
So you need an exhaust fan or an
Yeah,
intake fan is what you really need.
yeah, that's what I'm like.
They sell them. They're like $14 at Home Depot.
Yeah, but they're
They're
not
called
whisper
an
quiet.
inline fan.
I need something whisper quiet.
I've got a whole bunch of these USB fans. They're like they're pretty wimpy, but they actually move a lot of air. But like, God, I've got one nearby here somewhere, but they're just like a fucking, it's like a little rubber antenna like deal, like that's like 8 inches long. That it's got a USB plug on the end that you could like just plug it into a wall socket or whatever. Or your cigarette lighter. You just pull the little extension cord thing for one.
Because like I keep my fan on 24. So I was looking at the AC Infinity ones, and they're supposed to be really quiet running.
But they're $149 or $189.
No, they're not that bad.
They 75.
I don't know. Hold on, I'll look. AC Infinity.
Canadian.
6-inch fan. Ductwork.
I
I
don't need
ran
ductwork.
10-inch.
Yeah, about fans. You get what you pay for. So if you're really trying to get a quiet one, oh, they're a little more expensive,
Yep.
efficient. And if you're really trying to get it quiet, oversize it. I mean, if you really only need 6-inch, put an 8-inch and turn it down, and it'll even be more quiet. A lot of the noise is the resistance in the ducting and whatnot, and the vibration. And a lot of times the
Yeah.
vibration can be, they got little rubber things you can do, or you can
Our
actually
cardboard.
inline fan. You can wrap it in a blanket or anything, dampen the noise. I've done all that.
I've used cardboard when you don't have any of that thin rubber around.
Yeah.
Eventually, I want to get one.
Because we used to like hook like big 10-inch fans and we put them right to the rafter. And when you do that, you kind of get a vibration in the floor. So it's better to take like an inch of that black foam rubber
Right.
and put that on the joist and then screw your fan into that.
We used to use air, not AC, and move air. If either side, if there wasn't like almost, zero static pressure, equal amount in and out, then that would put like pressure on whichever
One
side.
fan.
And then after a lot of years of doing that, a lot of it is you could hear things. Yeah.
So it says AC Infinity Rex Slid S6 inline booster duct fan 6-inch with speed controller, which I don't have right now. It says low noise inline HVAC blower.
Well, I've heard that.
And-
I have never
And how
used
much is it?
that company
$34.
because they weren't around when I was buying stuff, but I've heard that their stuff's good, and some of the functionality of their products with the controllers and the the other fans didn't come with that. You'd have to buy that stuff separate. But can you definitely get what you pay for with these fans. And
Yep.
even with some of the better ones, what you realize the difference is the actual wheel,
The
uh,
bearings.
the
Mine are
bearing, but also
nylon.
the design of what's pulled, the propeller. Uh, yeah, and the better ones are a lot of it gets into efficiency too, and I think it's called AC. It's called SEER, but in fans, there's a rating system of the noise where there's like a way that they in the data they give you on the fan will tell you the noise rating of that fan. Because that's the same. It's not like we're the only people trying to come up with quiet fans. People that have houses and HVAC and yeah, like a lot of bathroom fans, that those always make noise. You go to a nicer house and they got these more expensive bathroom fans that quiet as can be. You don't even know they're on.
The 10-inch fan that I keep talking about, I bought that in 2002, and it's probably ran for a good 10 years. But when I bought that fan, yeah, it's a 10-inch nylon bearing. That sucker cost me almost $400. But man, does it move the air, and it's quiet.
And some of those things, like, I ran a lot of equipment for a lot of years. And yeah, the thing I learned is basic truth in life. You get what you pay for. Oh, there's some bullshit scams along the way, but for the most part, you go to the store and they got 4 models of fans. Yeah, that one that's a little more money is probably there's usually a reason for it. And next thing you know, it runs for 20 years and it's like that, where yeah, some of the cheaper value products, which part of the problem with hydro stores and the distribution of Hawthorne and whatnot, they don't even really give us a selection of stuff at this point. They like there's these knockoff pumps, like even water pumps, air pumps, these Chinese knockoff brands that really are crappy. They have no longevity. But it's not like that's if you can ask them to order. It's in the catalog. But if you really wanted to get a pump, check out like a fish store or aquarium distribution. Then all of a sudden you realize, wow, there's all kinds of pumps and varying designs and stuff. You don't see that at the hydro store. Nope, you see them like trying to sell one product. Yeah, it's all knockoff junk at this point. In like grow generation and that the typical model of what's called a grow store or whatever. Even when it comes to fans, the same thing. They have all these, I guess you call it knockoff brands. Like anybody can hit up a manufacturer in China and say, "Oh, well, put it in a box that says this on it."
Well, I'm shipping my lights back, and you know what the company told me to do? Open every box and then reseal it.
Hey.
And since I bought them here, and I already paid the tax here,
2000.
Since I'm shipping them over, I won't get hit with that import fee because I was using them here.
Okay,
and I'm just moving them to my other address, which is the same last name.
In the early 2000s, like 2001, 2, hydro stores didn't even have what I guess it's called actual fan, inline fans. you would buy them
No,
at
you went to Home
Grainger.
Depot.
You'd buy them at Grainger, and you would order them. You'd have to have like a business license, whatever. So it was blue, and I forget how much, $300 or $400, and it was an 8-inch one that we bought. We picked it up. We used it, and it was like you're saying, it was too loud. It was just too loud, and we decided to go for a little more money and get 12-inch. I think maybe 10, probably 12-inch. So we returned the fan to Grainger, no problem. They took it back in the box, gave us the credit toward the next fan, and we went outside. And I don't know why we were parked there, but we were parked there for like 10 or 15 minutes, and we see the guy from inside the Grainger come outside in the back with the box that we just returned. Oh, and he was carrying a can of spray paint. Because he went to the trash can, pulled the fan out, and like sort of just half-ass sprayed it red. All right, I still have this fan like 20 years later, and it works. I mean, that was, I guess, as a way somebody couldn't get it out of there and then return it again, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, the guy went back in the place. When we drove up to the dumpster, fucking grabbed that box, and off we went. A couple of weeks later, the 12-inch came in, and yeah, I've used that one. It's blue with like a spritz of fucking red spray paint across it around it. But that's the thing about business. A lot of times, even more today than 20 years ago, but even 20, they don't return products. Like,
it's not worth the shipping.
Yeah, like as much as that fan's $300-400, it's like probably like $20 worth of parts to manufacture it. They don't want it like back, or it's used or whatever. They just tossed it in the dumpster at Grainger. And look, I don't know if they still do that, but they did that day. And I still have that fan. And out of all the oscillating fans I've ever bought, and dozens of them, back then, Grainger, and they were more money than the one at the hydro store, by like $20. Is an 18-inch oscillating fan by the brand called Air King. That one's still working like 20 years later. You got to clean the blades and all that. The current ones they sell, like that's another thing where there's this knockoff brand, whatever. They got 16, 8-inch, 18-inch oscillating fans. I don't think those ones. I've had one of those ones last me more than 2 or 3 years. We don't even use those anymore. What we've done is taken our old 8, 6-inch inline fans and just hung them from the ceiling, and they just move there. We don't like buying 16
well, huh?
fan that like lasted like a couple years, and then most of the time the gears, like the plastic gear thing that makes it go back and forth, yeah, that shit's made so bullshit that it usually breaks or malfunctions after a short period of time. Like, yeah, you have to like treat those. You can't bump into them or anything because they'll fuck up the gear. Next thing you know, they don't move anymore. They suck.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into it because Red Setter said he has a can fan that's like built in to like a silencer. I just want it to be quiet. Their AC Infinity
Well,
one
They
A
have one
can
for
filter, a can filter is pretty much a silencer to begin with, because what you actually, you do it two ways. If you want a little bit quieter on your exhaust, then you run it free filter. If you're trying to get just more life out of your fan, sucking it through
I don't
is
use
less
filter.
stress. But
What she said?
Red Setter said can filter, and he's got hooked up to that. So
Yeah.
I'm just letting everybody out there know that
Filtration.
depending on what
Yeah.
end of the can filter you put it on is going to give you a different decibel rating.
I just need one that's quiet no matter what, because it's going to be wide open, and I want a timer. I want it to turn
Then spend the
on.
money.
Well,
I
and
want it to turn
cheap.
on when the lights come on.
ducting, there's different ducting. There's insulated ducting that has like, and then there's the thinner ducting. Insulated ducting dampers the sound. There's all kinds of little tricks to a lot of it is vibration and how you hang it or how you mount it. That's the first thing. You got to make sure don't vibrate. And then, yeah, you have to have a certain amount of ducting on each side from the fan, because that dampers the noise. Like if you're running it direct, oh, that's going to be loud. Like we don't have ducting on it. So sometimes, and even a short run of ducting will have less damper, and it shouldn't be that hard. If you're, what is it, 6 inch? 6 inch is pretty quiet to begin with. 8 inch and 10, 12 inch. Some of why those are
Too big, too cuckoo,
to make quiet is, oh, well, you're moving 1,000 feet of air, and the noise is actually the air either being sucked or pushed in the ducting. There's like a swoosh noise.
Yeah, I already got the hose for the dehumidifier this year. I can't wait to set that up.
It'd be a flogging.
But even if you're not using the carbon filter for smell, they're good. Like to put a can fan on top of a filter because it pulls the air dust. Like it filters the air. Like it's a good filter. And even in a relatively clean environment, there's stuff in the air. Like you'll notice that, like I call it air grime, but on fan blades, on any of these things over time, there'll be this like gunk, air gunk. It's just part of air. Like even in a relatively clean environment, somehow there's like whatever stuff floating in the air. You can't really...
I keep on reverting back to the heater filters because, I buy it in a big roll and I put one of those big metal clamps on one end of the fan, and that seems to take care of my problems. And not only that, that's the same type of filament that goes around a can filter. So if you get really dirty, all you need to do is go to your heating and cooling shop and get a brand new one.
All right, guys. I gotta call it early.
A lot cheaper than buying it from the companies.
Be safe. See you guys tomorrow.
Hasta luego, amigo.
Your plants look great. Have a good one.
Yeah, man.
Buenas noches.
Peace.
See you around like an orange.
Hey, I found that roach.
Nice.
Well, I went to go grab the blue book to show the guy, and it was like I had a roach in my hand when I went out to talk to him. Where'd it go? Sitting in the ashtray in the house. I'm just hoping the guy wants to buy the rest of the stuff in my house too. A guy just moved here from England, so it may be like perfect timing.
Huh.
Well, I told my Thai friend some of the prices on some of the items I have for sale, and he looked at me with like a raised eyebrow, like, wait a second, you're literally going to take 1,000 baht item and put it up for sale for 600 baht? Here in Thailand, you got something that's 5 years old that you paid 1,000 baht for. They still want 900 baht for it after they used it for 5 years.
Welcome back, baby. Right on, Captain.
You know,
You're muted, bud.
I'm from the United States. When you have a yard sale, you know, things are they're
Well-
not $5, they're 50 cents.
No, but like here, like things that are used have like significantly pretty low value. Like even a car, you drive it off the lot, it right that in itself dropped the value in half or some crazy thing, right?
30%.
You buy a washing machine or a fridge for full price and use it for even a month, and then nah, yeah. And there's so many consumable items for sale, and I always think because like in this area, they're building the thing that the most thing buildings being built in are storage facilities. There's like they just keep
Yep.
popping up, more of them, 4 stories. It's all this like same brand. They all look alike.
Well,
Is
it's
that a dab?
$75 a pop a month. I
Yeah,
mean, you've
but then a
got
lot of the
300
things that
of them
people
in there.
store, like have no value. Like there's probably people still storing like old tube TVs or even LED
Oh, yeah.
TVs. Like, yeah, they're not even worth the space in a storage place. Uh,
Is that a dab you're holding on to?
yeah,
Yeah.
I think it cooled down on me.
I thought it was a key for a second.
Yeah, I waited too long.
Wah,
Maybe
wah.
I'll have to do the cold start method, which is good. Oh no, they're still. I try to do the lowest temp dab. Like I say when people, I offer people, let the carb do all the work. Like if you hit it and there's smoke and without the carb, it's too hot. That's the way
I
I
don't know if it's coming through my speakers or not, but that's actually a funeral if you hear the monk chanting right now.
Oh, that's crazy.
So, yeah, they've been celebrating this death since 6 a.m. The bells start ringing at 4:30 in the morning.
Oh God.
Yeah, they ring every half an hour.
Now, does somebody have to be of like stature to have that kind of thing, or is it for like almost anybody? Or
Normally when you get this type of treatment, you were someone big in the village or you had a lot of money. If a normal person dies, you'll just hear the bells in the morning. If there's someone that is of importance, they'll start playing music in the morning. And it's very calming, very beautiful
Now,
music to sit
most
out
people
here and
that are
listen to.
buried in cemeteries, or they're cremated, or how does it go?
Cremated.
I actually
There
think
are a few cemeteries though here. So there are some that do
Like-
get buried. Kind of like I said, there's a
California,
Christian Catholic church across the street from me. I didn't even know.
I've noticed that like since I was a kid, there's the cemetery, like, but 50 years have gone by, and it's not like 50 years more of cemeteries, and there's so many more people. I think less and
Getting
less
cremated.
people get buried at this point because otherwise we'd need more and more land for cemeteries. Like it would just be
Well,
inevitable.
like my grandparents, you know, they both decided, well, it was kind of decided because my grandmother could be buried next to my grandfather in the military part of the cemetery if they were both cremated. And I think a lot of people have gone away from burying a casket to more burying ashes. And that's why we don't see a real expanse in the cemeteries that we have. So, because they should be like 5 times as big.
Well-
They should have ran out of property, 20, 30 years ago.
A lot of people are just getting headstones too in the cemetery. It's just as like a place for, they'll still get cremated and buried, and then
I just
Yeah.
remember like when first time I went to New Orleans, like in early 80s, and then learned that like, yeah, the reason everyone's buried above the ground there in like tomb type thing is because they're below the
flood.
water level, right? So you can't bury people in the ground below the water level. And I was like, wow, that's pretty crazy. So then everyone's buried above ground, technically, in like tombs.
I think that the guy that invented Pringles is buried in like a giant Pringle can.
Well, yeah. I was it an actual
Keeps
guy?
Pringles pretty good.
Was his name Pringle by any chance, or is that just like
I don't know. We're gonna see.
like if I
A name that they came up with.
I don't usually go with Pringles, but I can't remember where. Like months ago, somebody had a can at somebody's house. I was at, and I beat them. I was like, oh, these are pretty good. Like, but they're not even shit. They're like fake. They're like mashed potatoes with seasoning on it, right?
They're not. They can't say that they're potato chips. They have to say that they're potato crisps, I think,
Crisps.
because technically they're
Yep.
not a chip. They're shredded potatoes that are formed into a fucking patty.
A lot of chips aren't chips either. I mean,
Huh.
like if you go to tortilla chips, like grilled tortilla chips, you can tell they're made out of tortilla. And then you go to Doritos that say they're a tortilla chip. That wasn't a tortilla. That was some mash they made it into a chip, right? Like it doesn't resemble a real tortilla.
Ole!
And Doritos, you couldn't even see the chip because it's like coated in like whatever the hell flavoring. If I was Doritos, I'd come out with a line that was half like nachos, cheese, but half like not as much of that chemical stuff on it, like light. Maybe they have that brand, but like a lot of times that stuff gets on your hand. You can't even eat it without staining your fucking hand with some weird orange chemical.
I was at the
Cheese
I was at
puffs.
what's the wrong one? I was
I
at the
guess
grocery.
they're made from dried potatoes even. And the Pringles guy, he has a mustache but he doesn't have a mouth, so he can't even eat chips.
That's a heck of a conspiracy right there.
But yeah, I guess They say some of the ashes are in the Pringles can that the guy invented them.
I don't know about these.
And the guy's name wasn't Pringle. But there are theories about Pringle being the first guy that there's a guy that he filed a patent for an apparatus that better standardizing the processing and slicing of potatoes in 1937. So he thinks maybe they were named after him.
Guys from that era, like if you came up with a few food product, that was like an entrepreneur thing that you guys the limit. Like some of the richest people just came up with like the simplest thing, right? Like
Procter and Gamble made them. Made them. They're like a drug company basically.
now companies like Procter and Gamble are these giant conglomerates that. Yeah, I don't necessarily know if you invented anything, you could get it. Maybe, yeah, I guess, but not like in the old days where people like Pringle came up with some product and next thing you know, it took off. I don't know. Maybe there are now. Seems like we've run out of ideas when it comes to product. Maybe we just haven't run out of ideas. Like, yeah, you're up against those big corporations that control everything.
I asked GPT for to make me some images of the best invention that doesn't exist yet, and it kept trying to draw these different iterations of a bicycle that had a toaster with a butter dispenser on it.
Yeah.
A butter dispenser, yeah.
That's weird.
A butter maker may be something that, when you pedal and the wheel goes around, it actually churns the butter.
Or yeah, I suppose just the butter dispenser and toaster.
I would skip the butter and just go to ice cream and make like a bicycle driven ice cream maker.
That would, but making butter, turning butter on a bicycle, that would be like an Amish idea. Great Amish idea right there.
I bet it's been done.
Going back to the early day, it is not the Amish. I mean, I churned butter down on the farm. If I wanted ice cream, I had to sit there for like 3 or 4 hours adding ice and salt to this bucket, turning this goddamn handle.
I churned butter once or twice living in an Amish paradise.
Yeah, that's not fun.
I had a phase where I made ice cream and I had a small scale thing and then a bigger scale. It was a lot of work, but it was pretty good
I thought that was the best ice cream ever in the world, that vanilla.
Homemade ice cream is
vanilla is my favorite.
You did it all. It was like, yeah, you could go buy ice cream for half that price. Because like you had to have the rock salt, you had to have the ice, you had to have the cream, but it's good.
Yeah. And you did it. So anything that you do is usually better than anything you can get in the store, as long as you don't fuck up the recipe.
Why the long face, J5?
What's up, J5? Where is he? He's in here?
He's in the chat.
Oh, why doesn't he come up?
I don't know. I like to see Rez. Rez, we speak your name. We speak your name, Rez. Resurrection Prophet. That'd be pretty cool if he showed up.
Today we harvested.
Right on.
I guess it's about 6 or 7, maybe more, single plants. The ones from the clones that my friend gave me a couple months back. And yeah, like a couple of them are like, well, they all smell good. Who knows?
I want to zip it a Bubba
and all that, but there were a couple.
I want to zip it a Bubba.
Yeah, there's There was one more of those in this batch.
Okay, two then.
I think there's still like
If
one
you
or
had
two
more.
the other or one. I'll put some aside because yeah, it's already April 2nd. But
And that
Larry
that
Goodman, or no, what was it called? Goodman or no? The I-95.
yeah, that one.
There's a Romulan. The Romulan didn't stretch
That
or go
one.
very big and kind of got starved out, but it smells good. There's a few.
Well,
Yeah.
I like every one you just named, so
Yeah, well, they were single plants, so yeah.
a bottom bud would be fine. I just want to taste that weed again, really.
Yeah.
I am so starved on good tasting weed. I can get all the fruity shit I want, but I can't get that gas, that dank, that funk. You know, the closest I came was this grape jelly. And yeah, I kind of got stuck with some of it because my friend that said, "Oh yeah, I'll take part of that," never decided to.
Oh shit, I hate
But
that.
hey, I paid 4,000 baht for 100 grams.
No.
1 second.
Wait. It's like 30 some dollar or baht per dollar.
35 to 1. Yeah.
Like, as much as I don't, I
So
still
I
don't
paid
have
like
when you say like
115
800
for
baht.
4 ounces.
I have no idea how much money that is.
It works out to like $33 an ounce.
33.
So that's why I didn't worry about, ordering 100 grams, because at this farm you have to order 100-gram increments.
And what is it, like 700 dongs to a baht?
You're going to have to be your own dong master, brother. I can't be the master to dong that much longer.
I think he already is the dong master.
Some exes told me.
That could have went a couple different ways.
I imagine like a whole bunch of the cannabis entrepreneurs in Thailand that, out of country ones are like packing up and headed to Germany. Like
they've already gone.
yeah, like investor class or whatever, part of the cannabis
Move to Canada.
whatever, that they just are like go to the new place, whether it's a state or now country, wherever. And I'm pretty sure the smart investors realize that the best money is get in and get out quick. Like you're not there for years. You're there for that. Like happens in the first year or two of whatever, a system being put in place. There's probably sure bets where there's easy money to pick up in and out. And then on to the next country or state that is implementing cannabis. Yeah.
But I tell you what, when it really comes down to it, I watched it happen here in Thailand. And I mean, at prices that were affordable for everybody to get into. Okay. A shop license for 3,000 baht, it works out to be $87. A grow license was 1,000 baht. And, you know, we talk about canopy size and things like that. My friend told him that he has a single room on the top of his house that was pretty big. And they gave him a personal permit of 2,000 plants. So over here, just getting a grow permit gives you basically unlimited grow space. That was 1,000 baht. So that works out to be $32. So everybody could get into the game, but it was the year and a half that it's taken them to fine tune it. But the price has gone from what we would call dispensary prices all the way down to what we know we can get out of Michigan, out of California, out of Washington. We know those $30, $40 ounces are out there of really good shit.
I don't know.
And that's what's happened to Thailand. It's just, you know, there's no money here. So yeah, going to someplace like Germany that actually has a better life.
$40 and less ounces are exactly that. $40 or less ounces. Right? They're never like,
yeah,
oh, well, this is as good as the stuff they want this much money. It's never, no, it's
I find it here because I deal with a bunch of different little farms, and you'll get a little farm right as they're getting everything together, and you'll get that harvest, and you'll be like, holy shit, man, we bought this for 35 a gram. We can get 200 baht a gram on this. Look how frosty, look how sticky this is.
I bet the gifting of marijuana existed before currency did. I wonder.
Oh, yeah, it did. Because believe me, if you needed help, I'd help you for some pot.
Yeah, exactly. My buddies are the same way.
I used to get my car work done through a mechanic that I used to trade weed through. I used to get my tires through another guy that smoked weed.
Well, yeah, I had all that stuff. Even to this day, like my auto body place where I have to pay the deductible, he just tells me to pay that in weed. So
yeah.
Used
and
to be
like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, a lot less of that exists because most people like, oh, there's just weed everywhere, at least in California, where like, so it used to be if someone found out you had weed or had, oh, they were like, oh, yeah.
Boom,
today,
it was gone.
Most people are like, oh, let me show you my weed. You know what I mean? Oh, cool. Like more, you might like trade buds with them, but I remember so many years ago where there were less producers, I guess you'd say. So, yeah, I had a lot of deals where weed was a part of it. Yeah.
Yep. I bought a car for $1/4 pound.
That sweet. Like, it would be, sometimes I remember going, yeah, like it small. I grew a lot. So then, like, giving somebody a half ounce for whatever, but then I realized, well, wait, I'm not getting the good end of that deal. You know what I mean? If I sold the half ounce, a lot of times they were like kickdowns, but they had their like grease the wheel. We used to grease the wheel. Now I don't even mention it to people.
No. But I do mention, do I get a discount if I pay cash? And they say nope. Then I'll throw it on a credit card.
Didn't want that. They like it all
Yeah.
on the books where they don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, Captain.
And they don't have to make a
Well,
bank deposit and everything's just through the system.
so it's really hard for me to find good doctors. There is a really good doctor. His office is less than a mile from my parents' house. I went in trying to get an appointment and they refused me because they only take insurance. They don't take credit card payment, they don't take cash payment or anything like that. You have to have insurance. And I said, okay, you're just jacking up the bill to the insurance company, but you're a mile away from your house. You told me that you take care of me, you give me the prescriptions that I need, but I would have to come back with, and they gave me a list of insurance companies that they accept. So when I go back to Ohio, I may have to get insurance through one of those companies.
Oh.
Because I got a ton of work to do for 6 months.
Right on.
Yeah, and if like I mentioned about my bike, I left that here when I went back home last time. And if you're not driving on like things made of rubber or anything like that, and they're not out getting the movement of everyday use, they dry rot right out really quick. Like the tires on my bike, the tires on my truck.
I'm going to jump in here briefly. I realized I was away from the camera, but I'm going to just jump in here and take over for a second. I wanted to talk about a couple of things that I found interesting the last few days. Excuse me, before we cut this live stream and switch to a different channel. So we're not going to actually cut the Zoom room. So for example, if you were to come on the panel, you wouldn't even know the difference. Like these guys won't honestly even know the difference. For a second, it'll say, oh, no longer live streaming. And then it'll say, oh, we're live streaming. Otherwise, they won't know the freaking difference. You guys will know the difference because this live stream will go dead in a little bit, and I'm going to go over. I think we're going to go to Fumidoro. No, I'm sorry. I was going to go to Fumidoro today, but I think we're just going to go to no, what am I? On
Fumes
fucking
are
drugs?
gold.
On like other drugs? No, we are going to go to Fumidoro. I don't even know what I was freaking trying to say. We're going to go to channel 2, basically, of the extensive, incredible Fumidoro and Flavors goddamn network. And we're going to go hit Fumidoro, ladies and gentlemen. The same channel that we normally do high noon safety meetings, including tomorrow, basically.
Wow.
And also, most of the time lately, we've been doing the Saturday takeover shows too. But we might so I don't know. We'll give it another few minutes. We might make it to the next 20. I'm not sure, but we'll see how it goes, and then we'll basically flip over to that other channel. By the way, Smash was talking about he's trying to get subscribers for his 2K. Well, obviously, subscribe to that, and then of course, right after that, please subscribe to Fumidoro because I think I'm at 248 or some shit. So if I could get over 250, that would be freaking delightful. Finally. What was I going to say? Oh, this was actually not this one. The bigger picture is this one right here. So, the picture right here is an innocuous field in England that you wouldn't think a goddamn thing about, honestly. This is a Redditor, some other Redditor. I don't know. It's not some guy I knew. I just something that popped up on the front page or something. He was walking around Hastings in England, and this is the field where the Battle of Hastings took place, arguably one of the most important battles in the history of the world, because if it had gone a different way, the entire history of the English Isles and the UK and everything would have been completely and totally different. And the UK, whether you like them or not, has been a monumental influence on world affairs, from the colonialization of Africa and India to freaking founding this country, on and on and on. They're enormous. We wouldn't be speaking English. Literally, we would not be speaking English. We'd be speaking French, perhaps, if we were speaking anything, because the entire history of this area would have been different. The world would have been different, literally, if the completely innocuous field here, almost 1,000 years ago, if the battle had gone different ways. Isn't that fucking weird? Anyway.
No spam.
Your father smells of elderberries. I don't know why you're not telling him that. It's gross. We're sick of it. Go again, or we shall taunt you a second time. Here's another one right here. Actually, this is. It was literally published that. Excuse me. This is from neurosciencenews.com. I don't think they came up with it. This was just a summary, and this is how I read the story. Anyway, canine cognition unleashed. Ha ha ha. Dogs exhibit human-like intelligence factor. The summary. Dogs possess a G factor, in quotes, akin to humans, illuminating the hierarchical structure of canine intelligence and its implications for aging. By evaluating 129 family dogs over 2.5 years, the team identified broad cognitive domains, problem solving and learning ability, that interlink to form a canine general cognitive factor. This G factor not only correlates with traits like exploratory behavior, novelty interests. What was that saying? Oh, my freaking pad is out of juice. This G factor not only correlates with traits like exploratory behavior, novelty interest, and trainability, but also declines with age, particularly in dogs with poorer health. These findings not only advance our comprehension of canine cognition and its parallels with human intelligence, but also underscore the potential of dogs as model species for aging research, because it's very analogous to people. Key facts. Number 1, the study reveals that dogs have a general cognitive factor, aka G factor, that mirrors the hierarchical organization of human intelligence, encompassing problem solving and learning abilities. 2, higher G factor scores in dogs are associated with greater exploratory behavior, novelty interest, and better performance in new learning situations similar to humans. 3, canine cognitive abilities decline with age, with health status significantly influencing the rate of decline, highlighting parallels between canine and human aging patterns. I guess I could have not given the summary and just read the fucking article. The quest to understand intelligence and unravel the workings of the mind has always been considered the holy grail of natural sciences. While we're still uncovering many mysteries, animals can provide valuable insights into the origins and organization of both mind and intellect. In their latest study, researchers at the Department of Ethology at Laurent University, discovered that dogs may possess a key component of, we probably just pissed off so many Icelandics, Icelandovarks, Icelandbergs, I don't know what you call those people. What do they call people from Baltimore? They're, oh my fucking ass, it's such a weird name. Oh, anyway, whatever, I can't think of it. So the Department of Ethology at Laurent University discovered that dogs may possess a key component of intelligence known as the G factor. How many times do they say this fucking G factor? Importantly, your mom has a G factor as well. Importantly, this factor shares many characteristics with its human counterpart, including its aging patterns. These findings could bring us closer to... Oh, I've literally just fucking read the same thing over again. Sorry. In humans, success in various cognitive tests tends to correlate positively. Individuals who e.g. excel in math may also ace their literature essay. Human cognitive abilities are thus somewhat centralized, but also organized hierarchically, from specific task performances to broader cognitive domains. At the apex of this hierarchy lies the, let's say that word twice, or 15 times, lies the so-called generative cognitive factor. God damn, they fucking say this all the time. This G factor is a fundamental component of intelligence. It encompasses and influences all underlying cognitive abilities, and it is also closely related to academic, workplace, and career success. In their latest researchers at the Department of Ethology at ELTE inquired about the existence of such a general cognitive factor in the case of dogs. The cognitive and sociocognitive performance of dogs is a highly particular topic in scientific literature, yet most studies are comparative, focusing on how well dogs perform as a species. Surprisingly, these studies have largely overlooked the individual differences in specific skills and the reasons behind them. As a result, we know very little about how dogs' cognitive abilities are structured, says Borbala Turksan, one of the lead authors of the study published in Geroscience. To investigate this, researchers, oh, that's my favorite name so far, Borbala To investigate this, researchers compiled a series of 7 tasks to assess the cognitive performance of 129 family dogs aged between 3 and 15 years, tracking them over 2.5 years. The performances in these tests formed a high.
What the hell?
Baltimore on
In human cognition. Sorry for reading all of this, but we've talked about it. What's that, hardcore?
Baltimore on. I think you're roboting.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey there, got to Mr. Roboto.
all right. Well, too bad. This for anybody who wanted to read the story. That's really fucking infuriating. I have fucking fast internet, but it doesn't work anyway. Bullshit.
Cheers, J5.
What's going on? Yeah.
Cheers, everyone.
Or go on.
I'm right next to the fucking router.
I'm smoking
I guess I can hardwire my fucking computer.
I'm smoking a blast from my past tonight. My nephew hit me up and he's like, "Hey, you remember that guy I gave the tray of clones to 9 years ago?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Well, he
Fuck, is
still
my
has
internet
one
that
of those
bad, or
plants."
are you guys like all normal?
It is yours.
It's you.
Oh, motherfucker. All right.
Thank you, Comcast.
Got to close them porn windows.
Pornhub.
I guess. That's it. Looking at too many pictures of your mama.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Robot.
Every once in a while.
Damn it.
I don't know if go out and go back in. That would fix it. Or reset
Maybe.
your router.
Huh?
Stand on your
Maybe.
head.
Hold down select and blow in the cartridge.
That's right.
One arm
Give
up
it some
in the air.
percussive maintenance too, maybe. Here. I'm going to make you
Yeah.
host for second D and then just leave and come.
I like progressive maintenance. No.
I used to leave and come with your mom too. She never made it happen.
Boom. Yes, Mrs.
Are you my
D?
daddy? Are you my new daddy?
That's right. I'm fucking no,
Ding.
putting up we do. Fuck. I forget
Are
the
you at the
word.
meeting, or is it still going? No, it's still going, huh? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I thought I was accidentally ending it. Sorry. There we go.
Well, hopefully you'll be good.
And I've been sitting here talking and saying, "Yeah, I can hear you," and everything like this, but I've been muted.
Nah.
That's probably the best thing, anyways.
Who's motherfucking Captain Biatch? Motherfucking. Did you let him in,
Stay
D?
in a motherfucking plane. Well, maybe I can. Oh, I can do it now. Well, before he gets back. Oh shit. Period.
So yesterday was kind of a different day.
There we go.
I found a couple grams of Triple G, which is pretty good. It's got a kind of a berry flavor all the way through, but kind of a berry sour.
Mm-hmm.
But it was very energetic, very clean, head high. It allowed me to get a lot of paperwork done. Man, there's a lot of paperwork.
Uh-huh.
They made it tough on me this last time and changing the laws. She says, well, don't worry. When you're allowed to come back, you get 60 days on entry again. And I said, yeah, but you're kicking me out for double that. Then she said, well, you can go for the retirement visa. And I said, but then
No.
I can't volunteer. I can't volunteer and teach Thai children how to speak English. I can't volunteer with the Farmers Council. And she said, actually, yeah, you're right.
Good stuff.
And believe me, the Thai Farmers Council isn't going to give me a work visa for that.
Mhm.
They didn't even want to work with us to begin with.
Well, there you go.
We actually couldn't even, we actually took one of the facilities off of the map because none of the Thais would work with the Westerners.
Yeah. Hardcore.
Yeah. Well, they thought
Doesn't
they know
Megafine
better.
Glass do anything?
What's that hardcore?
Oh, it was me.
It was when you had it in focus. Try moving it farther away.
Try
Instead
standing on your head.
I just think you're too close to get a good look. Got to water
If you
the
take the-
aloe plants today.
Oh shit, salt and seeds throwing off your shit. Hold on, let's spotlight that.
This is the Julius Caesar.
Shit, cheers, salt and seeds, by the way. Welcome.
Cheers.
Sorry, I
Julius
let him in
Caesar.
through the back door.
He's trying to fill out this bed. I'm gonna try to fill out this whole bed with just that. Just gonna let it pull over, stretch it all the way over. Just put him in here like 2 days ago.
Right on.
Already filled up one side though, so I'm happy with that. One side filled perfect. I might just flip it like this and put some other plants in here, but you never know. I got one from AG Seeds. What the heck's his name? Pure Indica. Wait, what's the guy's name?
Cormac?
Greg McCormick. Is that his name? Yeah, there you go. It's from McCormick. I had 4 of them, but only one that made it. The only one that came out of the ground. So I got that issue. Here's some electric. What the hell? Extreme Cream times Mendo Breath Banana God. And orange cookies
Ooh, that'll
times
be a
Mendo
nice
Breath
one.
Banana God. So there's 2. These are the 2 orange cookies. Mendo Breath Banana God. These are the Extreme Cream. And who's the boy of the Extreme Cream? Mendo Breath Banana God. That one's just busting. Too bad it's a boy. I was like, yeah, I got a big old girl. Fucking got bust out. No, it's a boy. There's some grapefruits. A couple different.
I just did some banana kush. It was friggin' awesome.
I know. I heard you talking about how it tastes like banana. I'm hoping something else tastes like banana eventually that I have. You get out of here.
That's what she said.
Shit. Sorry about that. Went into the other room where the volume's still on the show. I gotta go turn that off in a second. And here's everything else in the veg that I have to get into that room. So I'm gonna take all these and put it in another bed that's against the wall. They're hungry. They're waiting to go. They need food. Yellowing out. More yellowing out. Yeah, they're just freaking hungry and they're tired of 24-hour light. They don't like the 24-hour at all. So there's that. Here's the cook. Crickets and cicada. Another puck, the cricket's indicated behind there. Oh, you can't see it. The lights fuck up. Another puck. And another puck down here.
Get the fuck out of here.
The puck. Back cross 3.
Well, you
I like
got a
that.
number lineup going there. Green fingers.
Nice hardcore.
These are my little lights, little ghetto freaking lights. Only half of this side's working on this one, on this T5. And this little ghetto T5 is working pretty good. Whatever the fuck.
Ghetto.
I gotta fix.
What was what worked?
This will all be flipped in like a week in that other room after I take cuttings. So 2 weeks they'll be flipped. Not all these little ones, just the big one. All right,
Look,
I'm gonna mute myself and go turn off
nice.
the volume of the other one because I could hear. I don't want
Do
there
you
to be no feedback.
replace the trellis every round, Green Fingers?
What?
Or do you just weave that shit in and out of it?
Wait, what?
Do you
These are all
replace the
clean.
trellis every round?
Yeah, on the one that in the other room. Yeah, I just cut it out.
Yeah, like you'll just chop it, you'll just cut the shit to get the
Usually it's already
fin-
3
final
rounds
product
in
out.
there. So yeah, usually it's 3 rounds of stuff already in there.
Gotcha.
3 trellis, but this time I just got these plants in there and trellis at once. So usually it starts off way down at the very bottom of trellis. Yeah. I still got trellis over here.
I
that I
love,
throw
I love
away.
trellising until it comes time to harvest.
There's a whole
Oh yeah,
trellis.
there it is. I've got one of them.
So I got this over here. It's like 200 feet of this shit. I gotta put it back in the closet
That's
today.
serious roll.
Could be for the outdoor, bro.
I actually get that 4-inch plastic fencing.
Aw.
The plants I didn't even process, full of seeds. There's a lot of stuff in this hallway. Gotta shut them down. Oh, let me mute myself. I hear.
Thank you guys, I'm back. Here's Green Fingers. What's going on, buddy? It's almost the 20 here. We'll probably bounce here in a little bit. I did want to show off my garden a little bit before we bounce to the other channel, so maybe I'll go try to do that here in a second. I'm just trying to wait to see if my fucking internet or survives or not. We'll see.
Good
Seems
now.
better now. Kind of infuriating. That's a nice green hat. What's going on, Green Fingers?
Cheers. What's up, man? I'm not used to this phone. I lost the holder for it, so I can't put this where I usually do. So I'm holding it with my hand. I'm like, where? There.
Terrible.
There's the holder.
To cobble one together from sticks and twigs. Cheers, folks in the chat. Don't listen to that. Love for the Plant's been trimming Tropicana cookies. It's a lovely smoke. Love for the Plant. It's good stuff. One of the moms of forbidden fruit, as I remember. Am I getting that wrong?
The knife.
It's
silent.
Forbidden fruits, cherry pie.
Oh,
and
sour
tangy.
tangy. That's what it is. It's fucking even you're right. Even before I looked it up, I was like, motherfucker, it's sour tangy. It's cherry pie to sour tangy. Let's look it up here for sure.
Yeah, I gotta be careful with Tropicana. Very citrusy for me.
Yeah. Oh, just tangy, not even sour tangy, just tangy.
Ouch.
What was that, D?
Oh, I was just saying I have to be careful with
Drops it.
Don't talk over people, J5. What was that, D?
I was just saying I gotta be careful with citrus because it's very it upsets my stomach.
Oh yeah.
Heavy citrus strains. It's
Huh.
crazy, but certain strain crosses, it's fine.
Interesting.
Mhm.
I love citrus, but I guess I love all freaking flavors of cannabis, to be honest. Why does my computer keep showing random shit on here? This is really annoying right now.
The citrus for me can bring on like panic attacks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you've said that before, yeah.
It kind of speeds me up if if I need something to perk me up, a citrus, but It's not a good high for me.
I'm scared of nectarines.
Yeah, it's been a couple years. I haven't smoked any lemon, lime, orange. No. So one of the weird strains, we didn't keep clones of it, but it is lemon pepper. We harvested today. I might try that out. But I don't like the high I get from it. So I just stopped smoking it.
I like them. Oh gosh, I like all the different highs. I like lemons, and especially I like the flavor of them. Holy cow. But in general, even with just the taste of lemon, a lot of people I find don't like lemon, which is so bizarre. But hey, I guess to each their own. Um, what was
I
a
like
weird one I
lime.
just discovered the other
I
day?
like lemon
sir.
and citrus and eat that. I just don't like the high I get from the weed.
Well, that's fair too. That's fair.
But then everyone has their own endocannabinoid system, right? So
that's true.
it took me a long time to finally realize that, though. Some of it was from hanging out with Captain. He was the first guy that said something about it, and then all of a sudden, I started noticing it, and then
because that's all the weed I would smoke with.
Years ago, like I said, it's only been a couple years. I've known Cap like 3 years or so.
Happy belated 420. Cheers for all you
Cheers.
craft.
Oh, I just thought of one that I do like. I do like limoncello. When I went and saw Agnes,
One
had
of
a
the
best
things that
limoncello.
really like made it come to light was dabs. And yeah, there's some like really crazy citrus dabs. And then I realized I didn't like the citrus effect.
My friend gave
everything's magnified. Weed, no, yeah, I like that. Yeah, I remember loving Tangy, just that taste. I grew the shit out of that for a long time. But then I also realized it wasn't like the stoniest weed.
I had a friend in Michigan. He made a really good batch of Sunshine Daydream, and that has had a real citrus taste to it. He gave me like a Skittle-sized dab, and I thought, this is like my second time doing dabs. So I tried to clear it as much as I could. Man, I had to go sit in a corner for like 30 to 45 minutes and let my heart come back to me.
Is that a Bodhi?
It made me uncomfortably high to the paranoia effect. Yeah.
Thought so. I think that's part of Tiger Melon.
There's Sunshine Daydream number 4.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, it was awesome. I mean, the taste was awesome, not hating on it at all. It just, I think I'm not used to doing dabs. I took too big of a dab and it gave me that paranoia feeling. And I say sit in a corner because I had to have my back to the wall. But yeah, I kind of tried to change Bud's opinion because basically everything that we smoked, I brought from Ohio. So it was weed that I knew was going to get me high. So we kind of gave him a heavy dose of old school genetics.
I was going to say, both
and
you guys are
his brother really likes the lemon G, though, that I gave him. Because I gave his brother was doing the cooking for a small group of us. And he was coming out with some killer dishes. And I hooked him up with a couple nice size probably 2, 3, 4 gram buds of the lemon G.
Nice to have a chef in the crew.
So I'm
Even
going to interrupt you,
nicer.
Captain, because I'm standing. Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, in your garden. Looks
Oh,
nice.
you know what? I could probably turn in. Give me a second. I will plug in my.
Turn sideways.
Ha ha ha. Good one, Captain. Oh shit.
All right, can you hear me a little better?
Yeah.
There we go. That's
Now
I can hear you better too.
Picture.
All right, start. There we go. So again, remember these are testers.
Could we go
Don't
sideways?
yell at me on the. We're sideways now. Don't yell at me on the bottom yield there, ladies and germs. These are all obviously organic pots. These are basically 30-gallon pots. I think, yeah, they're about 30-gallon pots. That one over there might be a 25. I can't remember. But anyway, this is my pride and joy right at the moment. This is Sour Morgana number 3, and she's
Nice.
frosty all the way to the bottom here. I mean, okay, these are tiny nugs, don't get me wrong, but this is not a tiny nug for sure. And this plant is, goodness gracious, 6'5" or something. I don't know. This is taller than I am, that's for sure.
Nice.
Quite happy about this one. It smells wonderful. It's going to be a solid smoke on this one.
The pots you're using, do those have like a reflective material around them, or can you see
I don't do
through
that.
it like
Nope.
opaque?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Because it kind of looks like it's opaque where you can see the roots on the outside of the pots. That's why I was asking.
Oh no, they're really old. The roots
okay.
over
That's
time
a salt.
have
That's
grown
salt.
through. Yeah, it's not salt. It's just
They're just getting
I don't
good.
know. It might be some salts, but it's basically dirt and fungus and whatever the shit. Yeah, I never really washed these, so. Anyway.
They look like they're just getting good to me.
J5.
Pardon?
I said, they look like they're just getting good.
Yeah, I'm chopping them down. Basically, a couple of these are crispy. This one right here.
Oh no, I say in your pot.
Banana. Oh, the pots? Yeah, no,
Yeah.
they're solid. Yeah,
they're
basically
seasoned. They're seasoned.
Seriously, whatever you plant in them just grows. Honestly, like I don't have to feed these anything. Like all there is barley, basically.
Oh, yeah.
So as you can see, I don't top dress them with anything. Basically, right now when I chop this plant down, it's a little bit dry. So obviously, I guess if I get in there a little bit, you'll see it's not completely dry. But anyway, long story short, I'll just top dress with barley. And these days, I only ever really feed with water, and sometimes I use a little bit of fish hydrolysate, but that's basically it. I've talked about, okay, this is Crispy. The one in the background there is Crispy, so please accept my apologies. But this is finally Oaxacan Thunderfuck. I've been talking about it for the longest time.
Yeah, I love that.
Very, not as big as I want this plant to be. This plant can definitely get bigger, but nice and frosty. So I'm really happy about that.
What's the nose
That's another one that I wanted to show you. Same story. It's basically like, I don't know, how do you describe it? Like an armpit.
It's stanky though, huh?
Yeah, like a pine armpit, basically. So
nice.
Anyway, it's delightful. Yeah, it looks pretty crispy, I realize, but hey, what else? Oh, I guess I can't really tell you exactly. Well, I can tell you what that one is right there. That's Triple Burger. That one is stunning too. That one is like 6'4" or something.
But she's stanky too.
Oh, stanky as fuck. That Triple Burger is delightful. Yeah, it's basically, I wish I could take credit for that. That's what's his, Smash would know. Skunk House. What's the guy's name? I can't think of the guy's name. Anyway, it's basically a GMO BX3.
Skunk Master Flex.
Something like that. I can't remember. Anyway, this one is delightful. I got this clone from Archive. It's basically done in probably 52 days, something like that. Smells wonderful. This is Banana Cream Cake by Jealousy, I guess from, what's his face, Jay Beezy or somebody. Oh, it's delightful. Yeah, anyway. Well, that's the first run. Can you believe it? First run in an open room, basically. So, ladies and germs, give me some patience on that. Normally, I run intense and everything else, but anyway. First, this one. This is the one that I want to show you. Literally right in front of me. This one is Surf Grape. This one is actually a little bit taller than the Sour Morgana. This is Great Pie by a little crispy on the edge here. Great Pie by the Coot Special, and you can absolutely see that Coot Special slide. In fact, actually, oh no, never mind. That's not. I thought that was something else with the Great Pie. This is. Oh yeah, I guess that Great Pie by Coot Special. Anyway,
label your plants.
Yeah, it's a nice, honestly, a nice plant.
I like those.
So this is definitely the Coot
reminds me of
Special.
like Silver D spears, the mini ones.
Yep, absolutely.
That's awesome.
What was that? What was the jealousy cross again, Fumi?
Do-si-do, fuck. I always
Or the
forget.
one you have, the banana. Does it have a name?
Oh, this one was that's the name, Banana Cream Cake by Jealousy. I don't know if there's another name, but nice plant. I mean, this one's tall too. This was probably 6'2", 6'3". Frosty all the way down too. Not that much yield down here, honestly, but nice and frosty. So
I've got some jealousy ones I was thinking about digging
solid
in.
plant. Flora had Jealousy too, I think, and he really enjoyed that one. Anyway,
I've smoked it.
Well, that's the garden, gentlemen.
Thank you.
That's awesome, buddy.
Good to see them up and rocking.
That's some jealousy. And jealousy times apple fritter, jealousy times apple Sunday driver, jealousy F2.
Ooh, that driver one. That's the one I'd be popping. I like Sunday driver.
Nice. I think I gave half of those away. Don't know.
I used to call your mom dirty bags.
I call your mom Sunday driver.
Mama is great on Sundays.
Drives a Mustang, man.
Cheers, Arjuna. Good to see you. Long time no see. Thanks, folks, for the compliments. Folks, we're going to bounce basically to the other channel. So if you guys are not subscribed to Fumidoro, D, could you possibly post the link? I'm catching completely off guard. So obviously, if you need a second, or if you can't post it, I can post it for you. But if you folks are not subscribed to Fumidoro, this will be a great opportunity for you to subscribe, because that's literally where we're going right now. We're going to be there tomorrow at high noon, basically. I was going to ask, if it's just too much fucking shenanigans to even ask. I was going to say I need to do an errand, basically, and I could either do it after the show or before. It would kind of be easier if I did it before the show, but I was like, oh, fuck, it would basically be a takeover, essentially, because I might not be able to get back until probably 1. So I guess the question is for D and for the rest of you guys, if you guys would like to do kind of a takeover tomorrow, or if you would rather just do the show normal, and I can certainly do the errand after that. We can figure it out. We don't have to decide right this second. But in the meantime, folks, let's see here. Do I have that fucking link? God damn it, I must have.
I'm working on a few weeks.
Oh, no worries. That's a good lesson for me. I should have it handy. I don't know why I don't have it handy right now.
Shit, where are you?
You'll get it here in a second, ladies and gentlemen. But we're going to do that. We're just going to basically, the panel's not going to notice a difference really, but the audience, the stream will go dead, like I said, and we're not. Right, but we're not going to bed longer, but we're going to go take it over to the other channel. So it'll just be a way to help spread the risk a little bit among the channels, and yeah, honestly, filter out the content a little bit, because I'm actually serious. Like, if I want to get some of those people like that Christine Jones and so on, like, man,
she just multicast
on a channel where we're just like idly smoking about weed and shit. What's that, hardcore?
She just multicast on like a dozen channels.
She does, you mean?
Yeah,
I think Fumi's breaking up.
Oh, am I fucking breaking up again? Jesus H. Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, ballsack. All right, whatever. Anyway.
So why don't we just switch on over?
We're going to switch on over.
And we'll see.
There's the link right there. Go ahead.
Yeah.
What if somebody on the panel wasn't subscribed? Would they get stuck in the Zoom? Zoom.
I don't know.
Zoom
what's it called? Purgatory?
No,
Matrix.
notice anything on the panel, but the audience won't hear
Limbo?
me anymore.
What's it called when you're between heaven and hell?
Limbo?
Purgatory.
Ohio.
That'd be pretty funny if you're stuck in
Purgatory.
purgatory.
Yeah, they call it
Yeah, that's
Doom.
right. They call it Ohio.
You go to Ohio.
Home of those weird upside down burgers. What the fuck was the story? Captain 420, did you see me post the weird upside down Ohio burger?
No, I didn't.
Oh, that was some fucking weird backwards shit.
You gotta stand
I
on
don't know
your
how
head to
internet's
eat it.
good enough. No, it's like all backwards, and the bun is upside down, and then the best part is the pickles are on the outside. So when you hold the whole hamburger, your fingers are touching pickle.
I've got a coffee
Anyway.
cup where that the handle's on the inside.
That's good.
Oh, all right.
Ryan would order two, one for each hand.
Handles on the
You
inside.
can order chicken patties
How
instead
does a
of.
coffee cup with the handles on the inside even work?
That's fucking awesome, though.
Is it basically holding the world out? Is that what the idea is?
I've also got one that's like it's like an otter that's popping
It's-
out of the bottom of the glass, and it scares you once you get down that far.
That's
These
nice.
mugs were made in like 1971 to like 1979, 80 by a guy named Rump. And I've had them where the coffee mug, you get down to the bottom and there's a frog looking up at you with its mouth open. You know, he did really crazy, odd shit. He even made pipes and bongs. His pipes go for like $200, $250. His bongs are like $100 plus. And they were made in like 1978, 79.
Oh, wow.
All right. I'm stopping
But
this
yeah,
stream
there's
and
some
we're starting
crazy
up the new
shit,
one.
you know. You look,
We'll see you
look
guys in a
down
few
at the
minutes.
bottom of the mug.
Panel, stay here. Don't do anything. I mean, you can jump up and down if you want to.
Peace.
But folks, we're going to see you on this channel. We'll probably see you next week because I guess that's basically what's been going on this channel. Thankfully, we haven't been banned or anything, so that's nice. But basically, we're still kind of taking it easy on this channel. We'll see you next Tuesday. And if you would like to join us on the other channel, basically channel 2, I suppose you could call it, of the gigantic Fumidoro network, it's literally called Fumidoro. The link is right there in the chat. Just hit there. D-Zombie, in fact, he hit it just twice. So you have no excuse to oh, which link is it? No, it's that one right there. Either one of those. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be there in just a couple of minutes here. So see you there shortly. And of course, high noon safety meeting. Don't forget, if D is willing to do it, we'll do a